Just about 1 o'clock. What's going on from the Superbook.com sports desk? I'm Robert Walsh. Had a lackluster divisional round. Too many beatdowns for my liking. Kansas City took down Jacksonville 27-20 despite Mahomes playing through a high ankle sprain. Philly routed the Giants 38-7 as they totaled 268 rushing yards on the ground. Sunday, Cincy beat down on Buffalo 27-10 as Joe Mixon ran over the river and through the woods with 20 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown to finish off Josh Allen. And the final game, the main event from your divisional weekend, San Francisco beat Dallas 19-12 thanks to 2 Dak Prescott interceptions, and the consistency from the Niners offense was enough to take the Cowboys to the glue factory and effectively end their season. Some Titans news. According to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, the Titans plan to hire Chris Harris as their defensive pass game coordinator and cornerbacks coach. Pelissero also reported that the Chargers will interview Titans tight end coach Luke Steckel for their offensive coordinator job this week. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
All right, let's do this, Blaine and Mickey, on a Monday. Woo! How in the world are y'all doing? I have 3 observations that I want to get responses from everybody on earth from. I just want to ask Robert, because he has strong opinions about things. Blaine's had all kinds of opinions lately. People stopping me in the street going, hey, man, Blaine's been on one lately. I'm like, heck yeah, he has. You got to keep listening. You're missing out if you ain't listening.
It's from all those green juices.
Yeah, or brown. Blaine has started drinking stuff that looks the same going in as it does coming out. My man comes in here with a cup every day, and I'm like, hey, dude, you eat that once already? Is this the second time around?
I'm just trying to make sure that I have to change colors while it's flowing through.
His body has become an efficient machine. Meanwhile, I have like a large Dr. Pepper, you know.
Oh, no. Do you?
Well, not right now, but like the other day when you were drinking your poop smoothie, as I call it, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper. I'm like, I need some caffeine. So I don't drink coffee. Oh, man. And I think energy drinks taste like dirt mixed with sweet tarts, or how I imagine dirt would taste. I've never, before any of you tweet me, oh, you eat dirt. No, Jack, I don't eat dirt.
Man, you came objective, man. So this is what happens when you go to Mexico?
I had to stop in Houston coming and going.
Whoa.
I had to stop in Houston coming and going.
Because you ate a lot of dirt over there?
Hey, man, I almost went H-Town in H-Town. All I could think about was Blaine hiding behind a construction dumpster.
What happened?
We tried. My nephew got married in Laredo, Texas this weekend. So we go to Laredo, Texas. Y'all ever been to Laredo, Texas?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I'm sure Coach Mack's been there.
100% Coach Mack has recruited like the top linebacker of Laredo, Texas 100 times. He's been there. He knows where to eat and where not to eat in Laredo, Texas. So we get to Houston. It took us forever to leave Nashville. Everything. If you got to fly somewhere now, just don't fly. Every flight is delayed. Everybody is discouraged, it seems like, into business. They know that you're mad that you're even there, and it's just a tough deal. And so our flight gets delayed. Finally, the plane arrives, and then it delays some more. Then we finally get on. Then it delays some more. So we're looking at our flight to get from Houston to Laredo, and it keeps getting delayed too. Well, if it's not delayed, we would have never made it. Well, guess what? It got delayed so long that our hour and a half plus delay here, we land in Houston, and we just take our stuff and start running.
So where did y'all land in Houston? Because, they got multiple airports there.
George Bush, the big one.
Oh, okay.
That's the big one, right?
Yeah.
So we're running. We're running through the airport.
Oh, that's a big airport to be
And we run to the tram and just get on the tram. I said, I hope it's going in the right direction. Well, God was with us. It was. So we start going to the other. We have to go like through one and then to the next one. Yeah, so we get out and we start running. Well, that's a big airport. It's like a mall in the airport. Yes, so we're running through the mall and the food court. We get to the gate and everybody's just sitting there with their feet up. And the way Houston did there, because these are little planes. If you have to get on a little plane, they have to let you through this airlocked door to go down below to walk out onto the tarmac. These are small planes.
Yeah.
So we get there, and there's a gentleman who's run every step with us. We don't know who he is. At some point, I said something to him, and he said something back to me in Spanish. He's just running with us because he knows he's going the same flight we are. So he beats us to the gate because we got kids and everybody else. And he said something to them, and they're just like, well, it looks like you've just about missed your flight. So he says something else, and then we all get up there. So then there's 5 of us there trying to get on the flight, and the lady is just like, so she picks up the phone and calls downstairs. So we've got, passenger so-and-so and 4 passengers named Ryan. So she goes over and beep, 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 beep. There's like a keypad. And she looks at, I'm sweating through my clothes at this point.
Because
it's the middle of the night.
Carrying your luggage.
I haven't eaten. I'm carrying all of my luggage.
Ooh.
I'm pushing some more luggage. And she starts pressing on this thing. And she looks at us and says, you're going to need to hurry.
Did you take one of those deep breaths like, going?
I did. And I said, let me tell you something. You don't think we've been hurrying already? Lady, my name is Hurry. And she just looked at me, and my wife's like, come on.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We want to get on this flight, Mickey. We don't want to go to jail. We want to get on the flight.
So I had more to say, but everybody has my arm pulling me. So we have to run down these stairs and run down this long hallway. And then we get there, and the lady's like, well, the plane is sealed. They sent you down? And we're like, yes.
Oh, no.
So she's like, well, I need to know your name. So he says his name, and we, Christina, my wife, has our passes on her phone. The other guy had a paper boarding pass, so she's got everything on the phone. So she like, beep, boop, beep, boop, wait here. She walks up onto the plane and comes out of the plane with people.
They kicked me off the plane to get
All
y'all
the
there.
standby passengers got pulled off the plane to put us on there. And they were hot. They were really mad. And so my son's like, why are they mad? Hey, why are y'all mad? I said, shh, don't say anything. Just stop asking them questions. So we get on that plane, and we get sent to Laredo, Texas. We get there in the middle of the night, and we get in the Uber. And there's a very nice gentleman, and I said, hey, man, I need you to take us to the Whataburger drive-thru. And I'm going to buy you one, whatever you want. I'll buy you a double with bacon. I'll buy you whatever you want. The guy's like, I'm good.
Only Mickey Ryan. No, I thought he was about to say, hey, man, I need to take you. You need to take me to go get a drink. Not Mickey, though. Not Mickey, though. Whataburger. Because not sure he doesn't drink, but he was like, Whataburger. That's your.
So that got me smoothed out a little bit. But that was just the beginning of a harrowing weekend, man.
Harrowing.
Harrowing, not heroin. But of nothing's on time. Nothing's happening the way it should be. Everything is delayed. Everything is late. They didn't say their I do's in the wedding till like 8:45. And they're like, well, we're going to have the wedding dinner at 10. I was like,
did your eyes come out of your head?
I said, hey, man, I got an 8-year-old boy here. Like, he's going to eat the tablecloth. So they bumped up the wedding dinner for us to 9:30.
Oh, Mickey was like, hey, is there a Whataburger around here?
I was like, dude, me so hungry. Me eat a long time. And so finally, I don't know. Right before they started, I said, how long till this thing starts? They said, they're going to have like a full-on Catholic wedding later. They had like a wedding just for like us to come to, I guess. They're going to have another wedding, I guess, in Mexico at some point. This was just for all of us to come to. And they said, like 8 minutes until there's a Justice of the Peace going to do it. I said, there's a gas station that's 4 minutes away. So I bought a sack of potato chips and like all kinds of stuff. Man, we were shoveling that stuff down our throat so fast before the wedding. I was just eating as hard as I could eat because I thought, I can't make it. I mean, this has been the worst experience of my life. And I'm trying to be supportive uncle for my nephew. And he's like, hey, man, are you okay? I'm like, I'm just fine. Everything's just fine. This has been the best weekend of my life. Inside, I'm
just lying through your teeth,
I would like to just swim across the river and stay. I don't even want to be here anymore. But anyway, happy marriage to my nephew and his new bride.
A picture of the Justice of the Peace or whoever the preacher is up there saying all the I do stuff, and then there's Mickey in the back.
Oh, man.
Just crunching away.
Dude, I ate chips right up until they were like, okay, everyone. My son and me, we were eating so fast and so hard. So anyway,
Sound like you had a
How was y'all's
really
weekend?
Yeah, so
riveting,
sorry. That's
riveting weekend, man. That was awesome,
is
man.
the Titans' new GM.
No, there's a
cheat
lot of playoff games and everything. Did you get to catch some games or something? While you were there, at least while you were sitting there at the airport.
No, because
Oh my God! Whoa! Let me turn my speaker down.
my arch rival in this world that I live in is Roku TV.
Oh my!
And I'm sorry if you sell that or if you're affiliated with it, but heavens to mercy.
What happened?
It's just the freaking worst. I hate Roku TV. I hate it. If you got it, I'm sure you think it's the greatest thing in the world. Do you have that, Robert?
No, I hadn't had cable since I was in high school. I've
Okay,
been
I'm sweating.
illegally streaming
Okay.
games.
I
for a
have it,
minute.
but I don't watch
You
it.
have it?
But I don't watch it very often. I mean, like, what are you watching?
Roku TV is the. I go home to my mom's house for Thanksgiving. She goes, I got a new TV.
Oh.
I'm going to need your help with it.
Was
And I
it a
like,
smart TV?
No, this TV's the dumbest TV I've ever been around in my life. It was the dumbest bag of hammers. Roku TV. I'm like, uh-oh. And y'all be like, oh, man, you don't know how to do anything. Look, I got a degree in TV and radio. I know how TV works, pal. You start like, okay, here's a picture of the football game. Well, you click on it, it's like, you can't watch that.
Oh man!
Oh, then I start getting hot.
How did I not know any of this was about
So
to happen?
all that thing is, all freaking Roku is, it's just a delivery service for everything else. All it does,
Okay.
all it is news apps from like NBC, so you could watch an old newscast, and everything else is just like a delivery for other things. So it's like, well, there's HBO. You click on it. You need a subscription.
Oh, this is what my aunt has, and every time I go there, I'm going, what kind of cable do you have?
So
She said Roku.
I saw 23 minutes of the Jags-Chiefs game because I got a free preview, and it let me watch. By the time my son drugged me around the corner to look at 5 things, I got to see 23 minutes of the Jags-Chiefs game.
Oh. What was the score at the time?
I don't even remember.
17-7.
Dude, I've slept like 6 hours in 3 days. I ate a bunch of stuff. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but you got to plan into your time off a vacation from your vacation for your job. You got to have another recovery day.
I'm surprised you don't need PAI from ripping all your hair out this
Oh,
weekend.
dude.
Yeah, during this whole time you've been talking, man.
And I kept saying, like, I told myself and I told my wife, and then I told myself like 73 more times, this is the kids' weekend. Just let them celebrate. Don't be a distraction. No matter how hungry, how tired, how exhausted, how confused, how upset, how poopy you might be from whatever it is that you've eaten recently while you're here, just be a good sport. So my kids are like, we're so tired. What is this? I'm like, no one is tired. We're fine.
Lying to your teeth, right?
So honestly, I still don't know what I ate at the wedding. I don't know what it was. And my son's like, I'm not eating. I said, don't say that. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Everybody eat it.
Hey, you better eat it or you're not going to get to eat.
My daughter's like over there with the fork, like moving her food around. I said, move some of that into your mouth. You're not recreating.
You don't know what it was?
You're not covering up a crime scene? No.
You're not covering up a crime scene?
No. I don't know.
Did it look like?
It looked like chicken, and I ate it.
Oh.
Because I was starving. But at the same, because it was like 9:35. We eat dinner at like 6.
Yeah.
I said, hey, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, I just need. So I'm like, my son's like, I just want to go home. I'm like, no, we're here to support Tony and Paola. We're just here to support them, here to be good sports. Eat whatever that is. Eat it. We'll throw up later. Just eat it. Everything's fine. Eat it. I'll get you out of here as soon as I can. So anyway, had a fantastic weekend.
Fantastic.
Had a fantastic weekend in Laredo, Texas. The kids got married. Everything's good.
Look how his voice changed.
Everybody was happy. See, I didn't even think I was going to talk about that.
Yeah, no, I had to ask.
Danny said I ate goat meat. People are explaining to me what Roku is. You need an internet connection. We had an internet connection, Nick, but still.
Nick, that's his name?
Yes,
okay.
It pulls up posted stream, says Tony the Stud. I get it. Like, I found a bunch of episodes of Ghosts finally, and we watched that while we had a minute to rest. Y'all ever see Ghosts? It was like season 1.
It sounds like you were seeing ghosts all weekend.
No idea. I was.
But what I've got out of this whole great story is you need people to call in for one of their worst traveling weekends ever. Like, it just makes sure it's like, oh, nah, Mickey, yours was okay, man. It was just time consuming. But this vacation was horrible. Yeah, so you can call it 737-1045. Talk to Robert or Mickey about that. Seriously, though.
Even the place we stayed.
Uh-oh.
I looked out the back door. There was a washing machine just sitting in the yard, like still in the box. A brand new washing machine. There was a refrigerator out there.
No. Where did you stay?
In a house.
Oh, okay.
We stayed in a
B&B or something?
yes.
Oh, okay.
So at one point, the lady who owns it calls us and said, hey, you're going to have to move your car to the other side of the driveway. We said, what for? It's just a driveway. They said, there's another house inside this house, and people are staying there too. There was another house inside the house.
Oh.
There was a door. We couldn't figure out where it went to. It went to the other house. Inside this house, there were other people inside the house.
Oh, my. Why don't we have video of this crap? I am pissed. Now, I want to see this house inside of another house for sure.
Yeah, you had a Clark Griswold weekend,
No
man.
video of the wedding and actually the poop food. I mean, goat chicken. I mean, oh, man, that would have made this story come alive. Oh, you got to put this all on IG.
I got to take this jacket off. Okay. I got to take my sweatshirt off.
Okay.
All right. I'm sweating. Show just
And
started.
it's nice and cool in here, too, thanks to whoever was responsible for that.
Yeah, I think the heat finally gave out because the air gave out weeks ago in this part of the station.
Oh, man.
All right. Man,
Outstanding.
Did you all share a bathroom?
I'm going to have to go try some goat meat, man. I'm going to try that out, man. I don't know where I can go get it.
Okay, I'm going to catch my breath. You got some travel stories you want to share. It's also time for Ding Dong of the Week. Also, we will talk about sports.
Blends right in together. Ding Dong and travel.
I can tell you, we can talk about all this. If you need some travel therapy, just give us a call. 615-737-1045. Whoosh. Okay, maybe you are pulling your hair out from a recent travel experience, or maybe it just all left you naturally. I don't know, but you need to know about We Grow Hair PAI. Just like my man Bert said, they are there for you when the hair is gone, and they got they're the only people. They got PAI's multi-unit hair grafting procedure. It's a trademark procedure. It'll save you time so you can travel more. It'll save you money so you can travel more. Whatever you want to do with your money, because they get all of your hair replacement done in one procedure. It's backed by the only company that I would trust to help put it all back, and that's PAI, and you can trust them too. They've been in Nashville for over 26 years. Call them now. Tell them I sent you. Tell them you want your hair back in 2023. 615-376-6010. They'll give you all the options. They'll tell you how you can pay for it, and they're just awesome people, right? They're the best. So call the best. Get permanent natural results from a company that you can trust. PAI Medical Group, WeGrowHair.com. Don't wait. Call them now. 615-376-6010. All right, Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 and 7. Thank you for the hundreds of feedbacks in the Zone
Oh, it's
TV
some great
chat.
feedback, man.
People are lit on
You got to read
man.
some of these, Mickey. What are they saying?
Oh, Debbie says, I'm so glad you told about your weekend. It makes me realize mine could have been a lot worse.
There you go.
Danny said duplexing while he's flexing.
Oh, speaking of the duplex, could you hear the people?
Yes,
in
the walls.
So but you said they had a door, though. How did they get in?
I don't know.
Wait a minute. You don't know how the people that were staying in the same location you were in the same confinement of a house.
No.
You don't know how they were getting in.
In the words of Flipper.
No. Oh, that would have been scary for me. I don't know.
It was like a Hitchcock film in there, man. There were voices. There was a doorway in the kitchen. My son, where's this go? Couldn't get in there. I said, maybe it's like janitor supplies. No, there's other people on the other side of that wall. About 10:45.
So it's like being in a hotel with that one door that is barred, for. Oh.
So about 10:45, we finally get home from this wedding. We'd eaten what we'd eaten. and we get back to the house we were staying at. And my son, I hear him outside. In the backyard. My son, he just walks out. There was a back door in the bedroom that my wife and I stayed in. It had a door to the backyard. If you want to go to the backyard, you had to go through our bedroom.
But he didn't tell you he was going there?
No. And I hear him like, hey, who are you?
Uh-oh.
Some of the people from in the house had gotten outside, and we're like, no,
some of the people from outside.
So we go get him. Y'all have a good night. I never saw anybody. I just heard voices. My son said he saw people out there. So we pull his butt in and lock all the locks.
Oh, man. Well, I got an interesting question because, Nick Ewing brought up a great point here. Did you all share the same bathroom with your people who were staying in the same house inside the house?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you this. I've never seen Doctor Who. It's like a space TV show. You ever see that, Robert?
I've caught a couple episodes. I couldn't tell you who they are.
Okay, I don't know much about Doctor Who, but I had somebody explaining to me once, his spaceship looks like a regular size spaceship, but when you're inside, there's all this room in there. Like it defies the laws of time and nature and space and everything else.
It's a telephone booth, I think, something like that.
But then you go in and it's a whole place.
It's big.
Like Woodstock, it lives in a little birdhouse, but when Snoopy looks in there, there's a stereo and all this furniture and stuff, and it looks a lot bigger. I have seen that. Those people, I looked at this house outside, and I tried to do the math before we left. Like, where are they? They couldn't have been in something any more than the size of like a 1.5 car garage. So inside this house was like a escape room type sized room, and that's where they were staying.
Maybe it was converted a garage.
It had to have been.
Some people do that.
Maybe they really weren't there at all, and they were ghosts, and it was all a figment of your imagination.
People have suggested something similar to that in the Zone TV chat.
I love it. House within a house. Well, it was only fitting that you tell that story. I had no idea, I didn't, that was about to happen. So this leads us right to Ding Dong.
Ring a ding, ding, dong.
Boy, that was a ding dong weekend there, Robert. So you got a ding dong, Robert, or you want me to go first?
No, I can go ahead and start it off. My ding dong, did you guys see this Grizzlies and Shannon Sharp stuff?
That was one of mine. Go ahead, tell it.
Okay, I'm going with Dylan Brooks because I'm a proponent of if you don't like something, then stop it. Kind of like Cam Newton doing the Super Bowl or the Superman stuff. If you don't like it, stop it. He got into an altercation with Shannon Sharp, and what I have the most disagreement with were his comments after, where he called Shannon Sharp a blogger and a pedestrian. First, let's put some respect on Shannon Sharp. He is a Hall of Famer. He's probably one of the best top 10 tight ends to ever play the game. And to call him a blogger when he's not, he hosts probably one of the more successful shows that is a sports discussion show. He's successful on television. He was successful playing on television as a professional athlete. To call him a pedestrian and a blogger is negligent. Let's put it that way. And to say all this while you're dressed up wearing the tightest wife beater I have ever seen somebody wear. Look like he's wearing a leotard. Look like Kevin Nash, but a much Kevin Nash light. Look like The Small Show. Yeah. How you going to look like a JV pro wrestler calling out Shannon Sharp, who looks like the Black Superman? The guy looks like he's chiseled out of rock.
That he did. He lifts weights. I follow him and everything else, especially since our playing days. But why was Shannon Sharp heckling him? What did he say?
He is a Lakers fan. He is a LeBron fan. So he was telling Dylan Brooks, you can't guard LeBron. He's like, you're too little. Stop. He's just playing it up. He's a character.
Okay. So, yeah, right.
So he's talking to him on the sideline, and they get into it. And then he gets into it with John Morant. Then he gets into it with John Morant's father, which, by the way, if we're taking money, I'll take Shannon Sharp over all three of those guys. I think he could tie him in pretzel knots if he wanted to. So they got in an argument. Shannon Sharp, who I believe I didn't get to watch the video, I believe he delivered an apology on the air today. At least Ja's dad and him hugged it out because they let him back into the game. That all happened at halftime when that all kind of skirmish and everything. What I was really concerned with, the big guy, Adams, came over first. And I said, uh-oh. Yeah, see, that's the only guy that might stand a chance.
And then that's when Ja came, and then his dad came over there. I didn't know what I didn't know what Shannon had said to him. I thought he might have cussed at him or something. I didn't know, but he just said you can't guard him.
My point to wrap
said anything to him.
My point to wrap it all up though, if somebody is that buff, if somebody is that big wearing a cardigan, I don't want no part of it. I don't want no part of it.
People were more interested in this little sweater deal he had on there because.
I thought it looked good, man. He looked like a buff librarian. Like he could tell you any kind of Dewey Decimal System stuff you wanted to know.
People don't even know what Dewey Decimal is anymore. I can't believe you know that.
Yeah, old school.
What can I say, man?
You are old school.
I paid attention in elementary school.
Yeah, Sharp, they didn't want this smoke. They do all that talking and jockeying, and I ain't about that jockeying. It started with Dylan Brooks. I said he was too small to guard LeBron. He said, F me. I said, F you back. He started to come at me, and I said, you don't want these problems. Then Ja came out of nowhere talking. He definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came, and he obviously don't want no problems.
That was hilarious. And that was his quote to ESPN. That was exactly what he told him. He said, they don't want none of these problems.
He said, but I wanted anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you.
Right. He didn't back away from any of it. He actually leaned into that thing real hard like, hey, man. Yeah, we could meet after this game, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm like, oh, Shannon. So then it made me think. Like, Shannon, come on, man. You're not in the competitive environment anymore. So was this, I'm not going to say stage because I don't think it was, but was it another form of him trying to figure out how he can be super relevant in conversation and be, I guess, the hot ticket on social media? Because you got to start thinking like that when you're in an industry like that. Like, I would never have thought that before until I see, like, sometimes how things get escalated. I'm like, dang, man, there was no need for that. He was acting like he was laughing doing it all. So I don't know if it was or not. I'm sure he was serious about they didn't want no parts of this, though, because he looked like he was serious as a heart attack. But he never got, like, out of control. Like, the people who were, by him, the police or security, they were kind of just barely touching him, just kind of guiding him out. So he never got to a point like, hey, man, we can go outside. But he definitely was yelling. I don't think any basketball players want to be messing with some rocked up former player, man. That is not a winning situation there, man. And now they may get some length on him, but eventually at some point, Shannon Sharp would have cut the lift down and be like, hey, man, we about to grab on this ground, and this is my world.
Yep, ground and pound.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah, Adams was, Adams, I don't know, though. Adams, he kind of look a little scary there. Yeah, so that was one of mine, too. My other one, I mean, good one there, Robert, was, the Josh Allen non-call. What do you guys think? Now, it just looked very similar to the, Josh Dobbs fumble, but I thought either way, it was a bad call. For whether you're talking about from a Titans viewpoint, their game to this game, it's just the inconsistencies of the referee, and I don't even know if it's the same crew or not. It don't even have to be. But, it was just unfortunate they just didn't get the call. I really want some clarity on this offseason on how that. There's a couple things. That's one of them. The other one is slamming the quarterback or slinging the quarterback. So there's a lot of that
what's
they need to review. Yeah. What's a catch? They always reviewing that, but yeah. So that was my two ding dongs. So yeah, good one, man.
I think Bill and Charles even want to weigh in on, as I say that, as I hit Charles to pick him up, he puts himself out. But Bill in Lebanon might want to weigh in on this subject as well. Hello, Bill. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, just, I guess, millennials in general, or Robert, the take is not, it has nothing to do with Dylan Brooks. It's all Shannon Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
He's just wanting attention. Yep. Just sit down, shut up, and just be quiet. It has nothing to do with Dylan Brooks. You said, hey, he's too small to guard you, whatever. Okay, that's fine. But Shannon Sharp made this huge scene over nothing, and he's an idiot. So, millennials that want to say, hey, Dylan Brooks would kill Shannon Sharp. And so Steven Adams would absolutely crush Shannon Sharp. He's 50-something years old. He ain't going to do nothing. He can go in there and do, do bench press. But he ain't going to do nothing. Just sit down and shut up, Shannon.
Hey, Bill, can I ask you a question? When it comes to, like, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, at this point, do you believe anything they do or say is natural? Or do you he left. He dropped his own mic.
He just wanted to. That's what happens with them older people. They just want to say what they want to say and not answer no questions.
Okay, millennial Robert. I'm like you, Blaine, where you said, I don't even know anymore if this is a work or if he really means it. Like, did he go there and think, I'm going to yell at the Grizzlies, and then we'll get into it, and then a bunch of people tweet about it. Then they'll watch the show.
To me, I would think of it as a fun deal. And when I say that in a fun, competitive way, I would have looked over at if I'm Dylan Brooks. He's talking about I'm too small to guard LeBron. I don't know if he was guarding him all game or just periodically or what. But then when I'm back on offense and I go put up a shot and I make it and it's on LeBron, I'm going, yeah, how you like that? Mm-hmm. He too big to guard me. Like, it should become that kind of spirited but competitive, not where you don't say anything to him.
Right.
Besides let your actions do all the talking. So I think Shannon Sharp was looking to give somebody business. First of all, why are you heckling somebody? Really? Seriously? I mean, at this point, come on, man. You're on a popular sports talk radio show. Everybody knows who the heck you are, and you want more attention? So were you doing this on purpose? That's the only thing I thought. Like this, it was nothing.
Ding Dong of the Week brought to you by Mark Spain. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing. Eric always checks in with the Ding Dong during Ding Dong of the Week. Hello, Eric.
Hey, guys, I've got a couple. My first one, and this is one area I hate to go in this, but it's in the political field, but it's got to go to George Santos, the Republican congressman from New York, just constantly lying and embellishing his resume. In fact, you probably heard about the latest, where he said his mother was in the Twin Towers on 9/11, and she wasn't even in the country. And also where this guy in the military has now said that he supposedly was supposed to set up a GoFundMe page for a sick service animal, his sick dog. Well, apparently when he went to check the GoFundMe page, it was empty and his dog died. I mean, this guy does not deserve to be on any committees, anything. He should resign. And also, you may have heard about this, I don't know, but of course, the original lie, of course, was John Lovitz on Saturday Night Live. He apparently, within the last few days, I think, did a skit where he impersonated George Santos. So I got to see if I can't find that. But I heard about that. I don't know if you guys heard about that. But anyway, my other ding-dong, guys, has to go to this woman in the suburb of Michigan. I don't know her name, but apparently she was pulled over for drunk driving. The police, all they were going to do was give her a citation and let her go. They told her she needed to call a friend to come get her. She called the female friend. The female friend she called showed up drunk as well. So they both wound up going to jail, and apparently both these women had been out drinking and playing bar trivia together. So those are my two ding-dongs. Y'all guys take care, and we'll talk again soon.
I don't know if we've ever had like a political ding-dong on this show before. Eric taking us to new heights of ding-dongery.
Oh, yeah, and that is definitely ding-dongery.
It's so funny, though, that cops would ask her to call for a ride when we have something like Uber now. She could just call an Uber. Why would she call her drunk friend who she was just at the bar with?
It's $1 million question right there. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of people driving Ubers. They'll take you through Whataburger on the way home. I know. So I got taken through a Whataburger drive-through by one in Laredo. Done that in H-Town once, too. All right, when we come back, we'll take more phone calls, 615-737-1045, your ding-dongs. And Tyler has a ding-dong for somebody in the Zone TV chat that Titans fans were PO'd at this weekend. He has an angry ding dong next.
What about your ding dong?
It's happy.
Is it already that time of year again? We're making resolutions we hopefully can keep. Thanks to the folks at Cool Ray, they make taking care of your home's resolutions easy. Maybe it's to keep the heat on. That's a pretty important goal. And Cool Ray will help take care of that with only a $49 winter tune-up. Or much like how the holiday treats have us needing to get back in shape, maybe your home's heating system needs a complete revamp too. That's no problem either. And Cool Ray's entering the new year stocked up and ready with furnaces on hand ready for next day installation. Plus, they still can boast a lifetime parts and labor warranty on new Carrier home comfort systems, including $0 in repair costs for the life of your system. And if your home truly is good to go, Cool Ray is even looking out for your personal resolutions too. So browse the coolray.com /career page and kickstart your career with their industry-leading benefits and work-life balance. Spots are open for HVAC service technicians, installers, plumbers, and electricians. So schedule your next visit or browse career opportunities at coolray.com. No phone call, no wait, no worries. You pick the date and time that works for you. That's coolray.com.
Blaine and Mickey, 1045 The Zone, our home sweet home. So in the Zone TV chat, Tyler said, my ding-dong is Rich Eisen for his tweet about how he's never seen a quarterback suffer an ankle injury like that and return to the game. He said, I know we were boring to watch, but Tannehill did it twice. So Rich Eisen tweeted, Mahomes is only the second quarterback I've ever seen return to a game with an apparent high ankle to play in a second half. The only other one was Big Ben versus Cleveland on a Thursday night in 2011. He left the stadium that night in a walking boot. So immediately, Titans fans just destroyed Rich Eisen. Like, hey, man, Tannehill did that twice this year. Tannehill played several games like that.
Well, what I can't say is, people pay attention to the elite quarterbacks, and he's not on there. He's just a good starting quarterback. Because that just happened this year. So, I mean, it wasn't like it was years ago.
No.
He should have referenced Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Maybe so.
Maybe that's what he meant.
Or just, and I tried to look back through his Twitter for him to be like, hey, thanks for pointing it out. Of course, Ryan Tannehill. Nope, I didn't see anything like that. Like,
that's why I don't be tweeting too much, because I probably said something crazy. Like, oh, man, that has never happened before. They're going to give me a laundry list of people that's happened to. Like, oh, crap, man, I remember all these people.
So I'd put Rich Eisen in the ding-dong world.
Oh,
I mean, and you can't know everything about everything all the time, but the Titans lost 7 games in a row. It was a storyline in the NFL. Mm-hmm. The GM got fired in the season. It's not like they don't know exactly what he's – I mean, the Titans aren't that big of a mystery. I get it. It's a smaller market. It's not sexy. I get that. It's not New York or L.A. or Chicago. But, things happened here, and that happened. Tannehill twice. So, ding-dongery for Rich Eisen, but also just for everything involved with the whole Shannon Sharp deal. And, I asked the question, do people believe anything is real with him anymore? Like, did he just go to the game and then he gets jawed out and then he jaws back? And, oh, my gosh, I was just here to, have a beer and eat some popcorn. And LeBron's his guy. LeBron said after the game, that's my guy, my ride or die. I'm with him 24, what do you say, 24/7, 365 and 366 in a leap year, which I've never heard, and that sounds like something I would say. So I was very impressed that he would pull out a colloquialism like that, LeBron. But I don't, okay, everybody had a field day with, after the Cowboys game, Skip Bayless walked around the corner in a staged video and had a big sigh and turned his Cowboys jersey around so you could see Prescott. Then he threw it in the garbage.
Like it was a scene on the Skip Bayless show. You know what I mean? Like it was just a positioned camera there, and that was his moment.
Like a bad 80s sitcom.
There you go.
The Skip, My Life with Skip.
The Skip Van Dyke Show.
Oh, my gosh. And I'm thinking, okay, I truly don't believe anything that he does anymore is not staged or just for clicks or kicks or – but with Shannon, I don't know. I want to think no, he just went to the game and this just happened. But it all just seems to play out too perfectly. Then everybody's talking about Shannon. So, of course, they're going to watch the show if they watch the show to see what he's got to say about it.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I had to start thinking that way because it's been happening too regularly for some of these guys that's on TV. It's like, man, are they real?
I mean, to Blaine's credit, look what happened with the DeMar Hamlin stuff. That was another polarizing event surrounding that show where Skip didn't even show up for the show on Monday after what Skip talked about.
Shannon didn't, yeah.
Now Shannon. So now you have to question, okay, was that real? Was any of it real? Was any of it real at all? Kind of like your neighbors that were living in the wall in your Airbnb. Was any of it ever real?
At this point, I don't know.
Because you never saw them. Did you ever see them, period?
No, my son said he saw people in the backyard, and we took him by the arm and pulled him back in.
But you went out there and no people was out there.
I didn't go out there.
I
just pulled his little butt back in the house and said, "You lay down on your futon." Yeah, it was tiny futon. It was dark out there.
At 10:45.
Oh, it's 10:45. Hey man, it's where the blacktop ends.
Oh man,
yeah, like the song says.
I might have been a little scared. Even if it was a little owl would have said, "Woo woo woo."
I would have said, not me. It said who? Not me.
Oh, my. Is he telling somebody else to bring him? Come again? What's going on, man? What's going on out here, man? These owls are a little different than the owls over in Nashville, man.
That's like when your youngin's like, hey, there's somebody in my bed or there's something in my closet. Like, when I'm a parent, like, I'm just coming there and unloading the closet. Go ahead and pow, 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 because I can't play that game.
Yeah.
That stuff scares me.
You're going to pop a cap in your kid's closet.
Well, I'm sure. Then you're going to say, hey, if he's in there, what they say, it was major pain. If he's in there, he ain't breathing.
Wow. I might have had, I don't know about a cat, but I might have been having a bat or something. Man.
Blaine's coming
pot
in
or
swinging.
something, man. I would have come in there hot. Coming there hot swinging, man. Oh, I love this one right here. Dude should have just treated Shannon like Reggie Miller treated Spike Lee the one time in the playoffs. Yeah.
See, Reggie Miller and Spike Lee, if you want to see how to interact player to troll fan, that's the blueprint for it. It's Spike Lee and Reggie Miller back in the day, where Spike would give him grief. He'd bury a three, turn around and make the choke sign. They went back and forth at each other.
Yeah, that's what I was
saying.
saying.
But it wasn't. See, that just seemed natural because it happened. Like after the game, they didn't interview Spike or like during where he's like, he don't want this.
Yeah.
Nor does his dad or that guy or his dog. Or
he don't want this smoke.
The guy, right.
It's two different cases, though, because Spike Lee is like a little director, right? Like, he's just a little, like, shrimp guy. But then
he
Shannon
was still
Sharp,
talking smack?
Sure. But if you got in his face, he would probably back down a little bit. Shannon, he's got, like, his manhood, his reputation as a tough guy to defend. So he must have thought,
never felt like Spike was doing it just so people would watch, do the right thing.
That's true.
He's just a passionate Knicks fan. And the Knicks fans are probably pissed at him that he even said anything to Reggie Miller. Like, dang, man,
why'd
be
you
quiet.
Get it started, Spike?
Dang, man, that's why we lost.
If he would have done it to Trae Young welcomes that kind of stuff, though.
But it never seemed like a work. Like, if I fight Reggie Miller, then Crooklyn's DVD rentals will go up. It just never felt like that.
Yeah,
It just felt natural. Yeah. So the whole thing with Shannon and Skip, what's the line about Darth Vader that they say is more machine than man at this point? Well, so is Skip Bayless. There's no human left. It's all whatever he's become. He's more machine. He is all machine and no man. Shannon, you wanted to think, okay, there's a tiny bit of humanity left in Shannon because he tries to be the voice of reason. I say that.
I think he tried.
I never watched that show. I just see the clips that people put out like, here's what they thought about today. I don't even know when it's on. It may be on now.
Yeah, I heard him talk enough while I was playing. I'm still burnt
Blaine and me
out.
were joking about that. I said, here's what's funny. We're talking about Shannon like he's a million miles away from us, and Blaine guarded him in games. Like, Blaine guarded him. They have a working relationship with each other from his old job.
I definitely didn't have a working relationship with him.
He didn't talk junk to you, did he, Blaine?
No, he really didn't. But he talked to himself a lot. To the point where it's like, hey, man, who you talking to? Like, because I wanted to make sure, just give me a little something so I could just take your knee out. Just give me something. Just all I need is just look, because you've been talking this whole entire game, man. It got to a point one game, I was just like, hey, man, shut up. Yeah, I went H-Town on him.
You did?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Was this in H-Town?
Oh, no. This was probably here in Baltimore.
Okay.
Oh, man, he was talking so much one game, and I think he was just talking to somebody else. I'm just like, man, I am tired of this dude's mouth. Dude, I hope they. Oh, I'm gonna get you.
What did he say when you asked him to stop?
He just turned around and looked at me. Hey, Blaine talks. Oh, I didn't know he talked. No, because I don't do all that. A lot of DBs are really talkers and they talk smack through. That was never my style. My style was I'm not gonna say crap to piss this person off. I'm gonna do everything I can just to play hard and go ahead and walk away from this game and say, hey man, that dude's a pretty good player. He's solid. But as soon as they start jabbering, I'm like, oh, I'm about to get you, bro. I'm about to shut you up. I am tired of your mouth. And that's, oh, man. Your mouth. I got so hot, I was mad. One game, we played him. I told the coach I want to guard him the whole entire game, man to man. Yeah, I told him. Going into the week, I want him. I want that smoke. That's what I told him. Yeah, I sure did. It was actually it was a playoff game, and I'm pissed because the one time we play zone is the time he caught the ball. All the times I guard him, no can do. Nope, they threw to him too. Ask Trent Dilfer. Yep, no can do. Split him out wide, 1-on-1. Me and Blaine. Let's go. Hall of Famer. Let's go. No completions. I think they threw to him at least 3 or 4 times. He caught none. Not when I guard him.
Till you ran zone.
Yeah, then we ran zone, and he was on the other side of the field. This dude comes across, catch the ball. I was so mad because it was a new defense we had put in, and I knew somebody was going to blow the cover. I knew it. Then next thing you know, his butt up to 50-yard. Oh, I was so mad. When I came to this, I didn't even forget it. I ran to the sideline and MF'd our coach, Greg Williams. I said, I told you let me guard him. I'm putting in this new old crap. That crap ain't going to work. Nobody knows all the dang on formations of what to do. Keep it, do what we do. Yeah, I was hot. I'll never forget it. That was in the game we only gave him 140 yards. 104 yards or something. Total offense. And so he got 40 of it on a play like that. 40! And I'm like, oh, I told you. Our linebackers cannot guard him. This dude was a converted wide receiver.
Yeah. All right, we got to convert to hour number 2. More Titans talk. Paul in Huntsville wants to weigh in on Shannon Sharp. You want to weigh in on anything? 615-737-1045.
Call in, Shannon. I want some of that smoke.
Yeah, Jill Jelniick coming up at 2:20 from Fox 17.
Sweet home Alabama.
Blaine and Mickey 104.5 The Zone. Woo! Yeah, man. It's been that kind of day.
Oh, man.
It started with a
Yeah, we went to Laredo, Texas for a brief minute there, and then we came back on your private jet. But everything's good now. Robert's good to go. You brought him back some goat.
If you
chicken.
are so inclined, you can go back today and listen to all the shows on the Zone live or on the podcast. You can go back and catch the intro of the show today. I had a very interesting experience that involved some multiple plane flights and some time spent in Laredo, Texas this weekend. So if you're so inclined, you can go and catch that, and we'll be happy that you did. We'll be hanging out this second hour. We got to talk some Titans and some NFL. But we got into Shannon Sharp and Ding Dong of the Week, and a lot of people had a lot to say about Shannon. Let's do this. Paul held onto the break. We love phone calls. Let's take Paul's call.
love when our boss calls in, Paul Mason.
I don't know if it's him. Let's just see.
I think it is.
Paul this is.
Yeah, this is Paul, right?
Huntsville, by the way. Paul, what's going on? Thanks for calling the Mark Spain Real Estate Hotline.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I'm a counselor I'm a licensed counselor for a living, so I understand what happens with emotional overreaction every day.
I got you.
Boy, you could do some work with us.
I'm also a big Grizzlies fan, so I know Dylan Brooks really well, and he is all business on the court. He does not take anything from anybody.
Good.
Somebody says something to him, he's going to say something back. That's just him. I also am a big NFL fan, big Blaine Bishop fan, big Titans fan. And having watched the Titans, I watched Shannon Sharp a lot. And you talked about it, Blaine. He gets into the mode. He gets in, and it was almost like he was LeBron.
Yeah, that's how he looked. Like he was actually in the game.
He was LeBron. And then once Dylan said "F you," it was
that
not fun and games anymore.
Yep.
And Shannon was he just went. It was full game mode.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. I don't think that was staged. I think Skip Bayless has to do that. Shannon Sharp doesn't have to do that. He's got the credentials that he doesn't have to stage stuff like that. He doesn't need that kind of attention. I also watched his apology.
Oh,
that was a good example of somebody that overreacted and said, wait a minute, now that I got a chance to think about it, he apologized to the Grizzlies, the Lake. I mean, he apologized to Dylan Brooks, the Morants. I mean, it really looked sincere. So as a professional, my opinion, based on all the evidence, is that it was not staged.
Okay.
Paul, can I ask you a
Y'all
question?
have a good day.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, no, it may be right but I just wonder, why did he let that trigger him though? You got to walk away. You Shannon Sharp, man. And then I was looking at his big guns and a nice blue little sweater he had on. It looked like it was little anyway, even though it was big.
It's real simple, Blaine. What if somebody yelled "F you" right at you?
Nah, I don't. First of all, but see, it's different though. If you yell out and heckle somebody, you got to expect that you're going to get it back.
Right.
So that's why I say no. That shouldn't happen.
Well, I agree. I agree. We're adults and we shouldn't. He realized he shouldn't have done it. But I think he just got caught up in the moment. Because
he did.
If you listen to his interview, with the ESPN guy, he was still ready to go.
He was saying they don't want that smoke.
So
yeah, he was serious.
How we call that the amygdala getting hijacked. People talk about, remember the what was the quarterback that got hit in the helmet by the Browns lineman, Miles Garrett?
Oh, Miles Garrett, yeah.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph.
He's a smart guy.
Yep, he is.
But he lost it in the moment. It wasn't about his character. It wasn't anything about, he was in defense mode. And the part of your brain that's triggered does not know the difference between this is just, this is fun and games, or this is a game and life and death.
What's that called again?
That moment,
Paul?
It's the amygdala. It's basically the fight or flight part of our brain.
What do you call it when the amygdala gets hijacked by H-Town and I become this completely different person and I'm not my normal nice self? Is that what that is?
That's what that is.
Man.
Mickey, now you know. Now you know. And I've got an appointment I got to get to. I got to get off.
Okay.
Thanks for
all
having
right. Go.
Paul, thank you, man.
Thank you for the amygdala.
Yeah, the amygdala. That's how I become. Because I don't have an amygdala. I have an amygdala, and that's where H-Town comes from.
Sometimes I think my amygdala got hit. Whatever it's called, I'm overthinking it, right?
Well, we know that is not connected to your abductus longus, though. They both took a beating.
But it could be connected to the ding and the dong.
One of them could. All right, let me ask you this. I said this off the top of the show, and then you asked me about how was your trip, and then that just broke me.
Yeah.
But I had 3 questions off the top of the show. Well, 2 questions and an observation.
Okay.
So one question is, what's a fumble? Because I don't think anybody knows after the Josh Allen thing. Because a lot of people were like, well, that sure looked a lot like what happened with Josh Dobbs. And they didn't really even spend much time looking at that and said, nope, that's a fumble. And so some guy barked at me on Twitter when I asked the question. I'm saying, look, they could both be fumbles, but they were so similar. For one to not even get a second look and the other one to get immediately overturned, no, that's incomplete. That's what I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Also, what's a catch? Because all those years ago, Dez caught that ball. You can say whatever
I still
you want.
believe that. Yeah, in Green Bay. I remember that play like it was yesterday. Yeah.
So the Burrow to Chase thing, people saying, well, he got 3 feet down, but then he goes down and the ball's kind of popping around loose, and then he secures it out of bounds. Yeah. And so.
But the ball didn't move until he actually hit the ground. So now they're saying you have to control it all the way through the ground. So I don't know. I called it a touchdown in my mind. It was over.
So then it became like, okay, he has like 3 different feet down, and he's only got 2. That means one went down twice. But then he gets knocked out of bounds, and then the ball gets juggled out of bounds.
So if you get 3 feet down, I mean, it is everything else null and void for me.
So they're going to have to try to figure this out again. And here's the other one. And this kind of goes back to something you've been saying, and I'm 100% on board. Joe Burrow is that dude.
I tried to tell y'all.
Okay.
I tried to tell y'all.
That dude.
People were laughing at me. I said, I'm telling you, that's the guy I want. Everybody, I want I know Mahomes can do all these different angles. I mean, I want Joe Burrow. He got the it. I'm telling you, he is the next Tom Brady with mobility. His mindset is like him, a young one. I mean, this guy, he's fearless. Did you see him out there doing warm-ups? Yeah. He was throwing the ball, spinning around, doing circles off one leg. It was like he was throwing not a javelin, but a disc. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, man. Whew.
Like in a snowstorm in Buffalo where they all.
Joe Cool.
That's the worst part. That's the worst part. Cool. He's so stinking cool.
He
is. You could be as good. Like Patrick Mahomes is good. He's elite. He's probably the
best.
Probably the best of those two. They're both elite quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. But you couldn't confuse him with being the coolest dude in the room. Like his voice kind of makes him sound like a Muppet. There's some odd things. Everything Joe Burrow does is so stinking cool.
You hate it, hey, especially being a Ravens guy. But what did you think about when I think it was Tracy Wolfson? It was somebody on the sideline when they asked him after the game about what he thought about the ticket sales that basically meant the Bengals were going to lose and they were going to be playing the Bills and Chiefs in Atlanta.
Yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder, everyone talking about a neutral AFC Championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
He's so cool!
I love it. He's cool. He didn't go into it. Yep, send refunds. Yeah.
And he looks like a giant Macaulay Culkin.
And I think that's the other part. The fact that he's not strikingly handsome and is still handsome. Like, I've been working with this, look like a Van Gogh painting over here my whole life, begging to be cool, begging to be handsome. And this guy's effortless. I hate it. This is my own personal
picture of him in the locker room rocking Seinfeld sweats.
Dude.
That was his, fit for the game, was some promotional sweats. From the
he likes to be casual
Seinfeld.
going to the game. Yeah,
his mom tweeted something out. She is a teacher. And she tweeted out a video, I have a special helper today to help me with the Pledge of Allegiance. It is my son, Joe Burrow. And he's in their living room in his sweats, just hanging out. I've never heard someone or seen someone look cool doing the Pledge of Allegiance, but somehow he makes that work too. No offensive line, no problem. Have to do a tweet for your mom where you're reading the Pledge of Allegiance, still look cool. The guy can do everything.
Yeah. I mean, they had a running game. Yep. He's got those magnificent weapons with all 3 of those receivers as well as a tight end. I mean, he's man, you know what it made me realize about the league, though? There is not a lot of franchise quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of good ones. Josh Allen is not quite there yet. They need to get some more tools around him, and I say they got to get a running game because when everything's on his shoulders, he's forcing things, and he's throwing interceptions, he's making mistakes. So, man. And so naturally, my mind goes to the Titans, and I go, man. So can we get somebody better than Tannehill for that price? Probably not. Let's see. But we can get better weapons around him.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can get him close. Let's see if he can get him to the Super Bowl because Dak Prescott, they needed another weapon. They needed Cooper. They couldn't just, CeeDee Lamb wasn't enough. And Schultz wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. And then once Pollard went out, it was definitely not enough. It was like, whoa, they have nothing. And, Zeke. Yeah, Zeke needs to be on the ding-dong list. When they did that last play and he snapped that ball and that guy had a running start, you see that guy? That should be illegal, to be honest. Hey, did you see what that dude did? I'm like, hey, man. Then he tried to, like, grab his legs with his leg. Like, man, he just bulldozed him. And, Zeke's more worried about trying to make sure he snaps the ball right because he's not used to being a snapper. 100%. So he never looked up.
Right.
I'm like, whoa, man, that hurt, boy. He gonna feel that for a while. He definitely got to take a pay cut or get cut. Well, he is not the
he and
Zeke
McCarthy can pack their same garbage bag in their locker together because McCarthy got to go. Surely Sean Payton's going to be the coach of the Cowboys now. Surely.
I don't know, man.
Oh, that broke Jerry.
Oh, I don't know. They may blame Dak. I don't know, man. All right. I just Sean Payton to the Cowboys. I just don't see that as a good marriage. When I see that, I say that's doomed for a divorce. Because he's not going to give him the control that he really wants. Now, on the field, yes. But as far as his drafting and all that, I just don't see Jerry. I don't know their relationship. I'm sure they have one, but boy, I don't know.
All right, Jill Jelniick. Maybe she knows about their relationship. The one-woman sports department from Fox 17. Let's bring her into all these discussions. We'll do that next. Blaine and Mickey. The NFL Conference Championship games are coming up this Sunday, and you can enjoy more thrills than a 2-minute drill. Yeah, that's right. On FanDuel, it doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or you already got an account because they're going to give all customers a no-sweat same-game parlay. It's all right there for you. That means you'll get free bets back if your conference championship same-game parlay does not hit. You can bet on everything from the money line to point spreads to which player's going to score a touchdown in the game. Or if you can't decide, you can ride with thousands of other fans and bet popular same-game parlays that are already made for you. Boy, there's going to be some interesting ones this weekend. Maybe you like this 49ers magical run to continue, or the well-rounded Eagles to get a big win, or maybe you like something on the AFC side. Doesn't matter. New to FanDuel, sign up with the promo code Mickey. See for yourself why it's America's #1 sportsbook. And if you already got FanDuel, you can build a no-sweat same-game parlay. Just start today. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You'd have to be 21 or older, present in Tennessee, 3-leg parlay minimum, $1 bet required, refund issued as non-withdrawable. Free bets expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789. Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone.
Watch this.
Man,
Who is this?
Rat.
Oh.
Robert just dropping in one from.
Is this your favorite band?
No, Rat's not my favorite, but I do like this a lot. This is an album cut, too.
It's called Rats?
Rat is the name of the band with two T's. R-A-T-T.
R-A-T-T.
Jill Jelniick joins us now with two J's on the Mark Spade Real Estate Hotline. Jill and Jelniick, double J. We got two double J's in this town, right? Jeff Jarrett and Jill Jelniick. And Jill puts the smackdown on sports for Fox 17. Jill, how in the world are you? Let me press the go button
Happy
here.
Monday to y'all. And you know what? I don't mind Double J. That was Jill is so short that when I was playing sports, I didn't really need a nickname. But Double J was what I was sometimes called, so I'll take it.
And we've done the research on this. Like, she's like all region, all academic softball first team while at East Carolina. We remember that. Also, Jill, there are 4 people involved in this call. There's you and Blaine and Mickey, and then there's our guy Robert, and he's also an ECU guy. So 50% of this show right now. 2 of us are
pirates.
I'm telling you, we've been hijacked by pirates on this show. But are any of these – because you told Robert, I'm listening to what they're saying. Are any of these pirates as cool as Joe Burrow, or do you think there's somebody cooler than Joe Cool?
Well, I'll be honest. Maybe me and my girls, my team back in the day, I thought we were pretty cool. I felt like we were pretty cool on the softball field. We had ribbons. We had eye black. We were all decked out for softball games. But other than us, I would argue, when you were talking about Joe Cool and his sunglasses, I was like, wait a minute. How about King Henry getting off the plane with his sunglasses in that white suit with his bag? He's always got that nice bag, walking off the plane like he owns the place, because he does. I think when you were talking about just the coolest player of the NFL, I was like, I don't know. When Derrick Henry comes walking towards you in his slow motion stride, he not only is he intimidating, but he just drips cool to me. So I would argue that if there was a contest between who's cooler, Derrick Henry and Joe Burrow, I think Derrick Henry would have to win.
Oh,
I don't know.
So the coolness goes into the dress too, then, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Right? Because you were giving Joe Cool some points for how casual he was dressing. I'm giving King Henry some points for how nice he was dressing. I know maybe, I think obviously his big body type gives him some extra points just because you would choose him on your dodgeball team every day of the week. But King Henry has some nice outfits. Actually, there's a TikTok video on the Titans TikTok. If you haven't checked it out, Ran Carthon rates all of Derrick Henry's outfits, and he does a nice job of it too. I would give some bonus points for Ran Carthon for ranking those outfits, because I thought he did a nice job as well.
Well, how would you, Jill Jelniick, our guest, so how would you rank Ran Carthon's opening press conference as he was introduced as the Titans general manager?
Ooh, rank.
There's no such thing as a perfect 10 out of a 10. Everybody has room for improvement, and Ran Carthon would back me up on that. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 because I was on the edge of my seat. Actually, I was holding a camera, so technically I was on the edge of my camera, just listening to every word he was saying. I was so impressed by how he commanded the whole room with his presence. From the second he had his opening statement talking about the 20 years him and his wife had been together, how this had been their dream all along and how hard they worked for that, to being able to dodge all the tough questions and being calculated with his responses and not giving a quick answer on Ryan Tannehill just because we all are dying to know what he thinks about Ryan Tannehill. No, he's smart. He's calculated. He also knows he has a lot of work to do, and it does not start with answering all our immediate questions. It starts with Mike Vrabel and that relationship, and he made that very clear. That's his top priority this week. His working with Mike will be his top priority the next several weeks in terms of developing a game plan on how they want to handle this tumultuous offseason for the Titans.
Things are never tumultuous with Jill Jelniick. She joins us. She is the she's the one-woman sports department at Fox 17 at Jill Jelniick on Twitter.
Well, Joe, how did you, I guess, take in what he said about, I guess running the football and having a franchise running back, I guess leading you to a Super Bowl, or however the question was asked, because we can't hear all the question. But what was your take from there and his response?
I think it was probably a calculated response. I think it was the right response. He's not going to give us anything in terms of, hey, we're going to, only run the football. Derrick Henry's going to be our one-trick pony. Of course not, and he knows that. Him being a former running back, I think to him that position carries maybe a little more value than other positions, right? Just because he played it, and also because he's walking into an organization whose best player runs the football. So he knows that's going to be a huge part of developing their offensive identity this season. And I thought one of the best lines he said was, listen, I'm not coming in here to turn everything upside down. That's selfish. We're going to it's easier for one person to adjust in the beginning to a group of 2025 than the other way around. And then he backed that up by saying, well, I got to learn what's in place already. I got to learn what has worked for the Titans, offensive schemes, all that first. And then we see with Mike and a staff and a new offensive coordinator, okay, where can we get better? Because we cannot be averaging 17 points a game this next season like we did in 2022. So I didn't read too much into it, to be honest, his comment about, the way running backs are viewed in the league right now. I mean, look at the teams in the championship games next weekend. All of them have a great running back, right? Christian McCaffrey, also the Eagles, and all. I think when you look at Joe Mixon for the Bengals, right? They all have great running backs. They also have top quarterbacks, and they have offensive weapons besides that running back. And to me, that was the biggest thing that hurt the Titans this year. They were a one-trick pony, and everybody started to key up on Derrick Henry mid-season. And that's exactly why we saw a decline in his production and an overall decline in the offense.
What were your thoughts on, I'm going to skip a little bit to the playoffs. Any surprises or upsets, or it went just according to plan, what you thought would happen?
I was higher on the Giants. I thought I was expecting a little bit more of a fight from the Giants. And I still don't know if the Giants just didn't show up or if the Eagles are just that good. But I think that game was the only game that really kind of surprised me, just the difference in score there. And then I thought yesterday's games, man, they were fantastic. Even though the Bengals dominated that game from start to finish, I thought it was fun trying to see Josh Allen battle back. And then the nightcap, that game was on Fox 17, Cowboys-Niners. You could correct me if I'm wrong, I think we all expected these two high-powered offenses to be, trading punches, right? Kind of a barn burner. And sure enough, it came down to defense, and the 49ers defense, man, they held it down.
No doubt about it, I guess. Now we have Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers, Eagles. Who you got going to the Super Bowl?
Woo! Well, I have to say my family, I'm from Southern California. My mom grew up in San Francisco, so my family is Niners fans. They're Niners fans, so I got to cheer for the Niners. Plus I'm also a little still bitter about A.J. Brown having his best statistical year with the Eagles. So I think I'd like to see the Niners pull that one out. And I think it'd also say a lot about Ryan Carthon, the guy we just grabbed from the San Francisco 49ers. So I like Niners in the NFC and the AFC, man. I'm just happy for a good game. I'd like to see a good game down to the wire. And now that we have the overtime rules in playoffs, it's going to be, the best team is going to win. That's all I hope. The best team is going to win in that AFC championship.
Well, Jill Jelniick from Fox Sports 17 in Nashville.
So what do you think ultimately happens at quarterback for the Titans, Jill? There's some people say, just trade away everything you can trade and just get to number one and you can pick one of these guys. And other people maybe like one of these veterans that's out there that's going to cost a lot of money. What do you think will happen? What do you think should happen?
Yeah, these are great questions, and luckily, this is all on Ryan Carthon's shoulders and Mike Vrabel. But I think I know, even though he said working with Vrabel and developing a game plan is his top priority, it's got to also, the next priority has to be, what they are going to do with Ryan Tannehill. And you could look at this three different ways, right? Because they have to evaluate what's best for the team. Okay, what does that look like? Well, you got to see if there's someone in the free agency that's better than Tannehill that you could also maybe save some money, right? So you got to attack free agency. You also got to look at the draft, right? Okay, is there an incoming young quarterback that we think could be the quarterback of the future, and that we could also, by releasing Tannehill, save a ton of money on the cap space, right? Or you talk to Tannehill and say, you know what, hey, is there any chance we could maybe space this out, rework your deal? We still want you here, especially be a leader when we do find our quarterback of the future, right? Or you just cut him completely. So that is what Rain Carthon he's going to have to evaluate all of those directions. In terms of what I think is best, they need a quarterback of the future, right? Whether or not they need Tannehill next year, that's going to be decided, but they still need a quarterback after 2023, right? I think we've all seen what Malik Willis could do when he was put on the spot, even though it was his rookie season, but I don't know if anyone's convinced that Malik Willis or Josh Dobbs is the Titans quarterback of the future, especially when you have a brand new stadium coming in a couple of years, right? You want somebody, you guys were talking about it early on your show, how many of these teams have franchise quarterbacks? The Titans, they don't have that. Tannehill is at the end of his career. He's under contract for one more year, and unfortunately has that $36 million cap hit. I think the Titans would be better suited if they could try to rework Tannehill's deal, space that cap out a little bit more so it's not a huge hit, have him be a mentor while going after and trying to find that quarterback of the future. Now, it could be in this draft. It could be not. The last thing they want to do is try to force it, put it all on this draft, right? Especially when you're pick number 10, can you move up? Who knows how many guys are in there that you really like? They have to maybe just at least start putting those dominoes in effect to set themselves up to be in a position to find their quarterback of the future, have Tannehill mentor him, or just hold on to Tannehill for this year until they can find him maybe next year. That's what I would do, how I would approach this situation with quarterback with the Titans, but it all first starts with, okay, making sure we're looking at every avenue, free agency, draft, reworking Tannehill, before you just hold on to Tannehill and take that $36 million hit.
Hanging out with Jill Jelniick, Fox 17 at Jill Jelniick on Twitter.
Well, Joe, I guess one more on that note. Let's say with all the unknowns coming up here with the new GM and not even finishing hiring the rest of the coaching staff, name an unexpected player that you think will get released. Unexpected.
Ooh, unexpected. That's good. Let's go with, you know what? Are we expecting Robert Woods to get released?
Well, I would, but I mean, some people may not. I don't know. I don't know because they did rework his contract.
Right. Let's just say we're expecting Robert Woods to get released because even though he led the Titans with receptions and also with yards, he was the only wide receiver with over 500 yards this year. He does come with a $12 million cap hit. I think that's an easy one to cut and save. Okay. I think the maybe one player that surprisingly gets released, Austin Hooper, even though he doesn't come with a high price tag. I think he's a free. They have to re-sign him, right?
I think
he
may actually a one-year deal.
One-year deal, yeah.
Okay, I don't see them
re-sign him, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they were going to re-sign him only because, I mean, they found a rookie that can absolutely play ball in Chig Okonkwo. How many times did he swoop in to kind of save the drive this season? I love watching Chig play, and he's a great player to talk to and a great energy in the locker room. Somebody else that surprises me, Zach Cunningham has a high price tag. I believe he's got to be cut and saved. And then Taylor Lewan, we all believe he's going to be cut because he comes with a high price tag as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess my last question I wanted to ask you is the Titans are going to London. Who do you want them to play in London? What would be your Are you going,
like
by the
that.
way? Are you going? Are they have you going?
I'm gonna start a Jill wants to go to London campaign. Send Fox 17 Jill Jelniick to London campaign.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm gonna do that campaign or how on earth I'm gonna get over there, but I want to get over there. I want to go across the pond.
Yeah, me too. I've never been there. You either, huh?
Yeah. Maybe we can Maybe we can talk to some people. Get us over there. Yeah. In terms of who they play over there. It has to be someone from their home schedule, correct?
Yep.
It has to be because it's technically a home opponent for
You're
the
getting
Titans.
too technical. I said, who do you want them to play?
Who do
Yeah, who do you want them to play over there? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I know it's home game. Like I said, the Colts. This was last week, but I know they're not going to play a division game there, obviously.
Right.
That won't happen.
How about
But
the Bengals?
Oh,
How
the
about
Bengals.
Joe Cool?
Oh,
No.
Joe Cool.
Oh, okay.
He can wear a Seinfeld
I
switch.
think it'll
when
be
he
an
gets off the
AFC
plane.
team, so yeah, I'm good with that. Joe Cool.
I wouldn't mind another game against the Chargers too, because then I could try to get my family from Southern California to meet me in London. That would be a fun one too.
Okay, yeah, I think they played them there last time, didn't they?
Played the Chargers.
Oh, they did play the Chargers
So they may
last
play them
time.
again,
Yeah.
though. That way the teams will be recognized, as far as, the little bit of a rivalry over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Probably not the Niners. Niners might be we're too good next year. That might be ugly. I don't know how Rayan would feel about that either, but
Well, the NFL though, they like storylines.
Yeah,
they like
do.
storylines.
They always do.
I mean,
They always do.
When
Hey,
did Deshaun Watson come back? Just in time to play the Texans.
Oh, of course. Yeah, can't tell me that's a coincidence. Speaking of storylines, you guys were talking about your travel story. I got one for you, and I can make it quick.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, give us.
It's a wedding travel story. It was years ago. I won't tell you what market or who my boss was or station, but I couldn't get the time off, and I had to call the bride and say, "Listen, I can't come. I'm so sorry." And she goes, before I can even tell her I can't come to her wedding, she's crying already and says, "Jill, no one's coming to my wedding." And I said, "Well, I will be there. I will figure it out, find a way to be there." And I was able to work it out with my boss to change my off days to Friday, Saturday. So I fly out to Key West, or Palm Beach, Florida, beautiful. And I did not know this, but basically I was the wedding planner for her the 2 days I was in Palm Beach. I was literally writing name tags for over 100 people. I was putting together napkins, plates, centerpieces. I was the wedding planner that had no idea I was in charge of everything, but I got made in charge of everything. So anyways, I'm exhausted. The wedding finally comes. She asks me to do her hair and makeup, the bride, because she's balling on a budget. Bless her heart. She's balling on a budget.
wow.
So not only am I the wedding planner, I'm doing her makeup, I'm doing her hair, and then the bridesmaids are like, "Well, do you mind doing our hair too?" I burned myself with my own curling iron. That's how crazy chaotic it was.
Oh.
Anyways, wedding finally comes. I'm finally sitting down for the first time. The bartender looks at me. He's like, "Girl, I got something for you." Gives me this big drink with an umbrella in it. And I have a couple of those. And I'm dancing. And all I remember the rest of the night is dancing the night on. Right? So then I wake up Sunday. I got to dance the night away. I wake up Sunday. I got to get to work for our 5:30 show on Sunday because I couldn't get any extra days off. I wake up at 10 a.m. My flight was at 8 a.m. And I am stuck. I'm stuck in Palm Beach. And I had to call.
Watch this. You couldn't have zoomed? No.
I couldn't. No,
Zoom
I couldn't Zoom. I couldn't Zoom, but I had to tell my boss, I'm not going to make the show. I am stuck in Palm Beach after I worked an entire weekend of this wedding. And anyways, I heard you talking about your big weekend, Mickey, and that one is I don't know if that one is ever going to be beat for me. That
was pretty stressful right there.
Yeah.
That was that's pretty stressful.
At least you were in Palm Beach, and I'm sure the weather was way
At
better.
least I was.
better than it is here.
It's true.
Double J, thank
Yes.
you. Fantastic stuff. People can catch you always on Fox because you are the sports on Fox. So when they see the sports there, they see you. Fantastic bunch of people working over there, and you and your coworkers, and always fun to catch up with you. Thank you.
I always appreciate you. Thank you, JJ.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your week.
All right,
You
Double
too.
J. When we come back, Danny in the Borough has a question for Blaine. Danny, if you hold, we will come to you. Also, if we have time, I've got one more story about me and. Well, I'll tell you this. How did I wind up in Nashville and involve the same thing that Jill just said? How did I get here originally?
You a wedding planner?
The original H-Town. First time I ever switched into him. I'll tell you next.
Oh. Now, listen, we have some exciting news for you. For many of you who have lived here a long time, you already know Eurofix has been in Middle Tennessee area for your European car repair needs now for 24 years, and we've all gotten to watch them grow. And I don't know about you, but I love watching hometown business take off. Well, are you now ready to announce, for us to announce the 5th location in Mount Juliet for Eurofix on Mount Juliet Road, right across the street from Dairy Queen. And Eurofix can serve you in Franklin, 100 Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. Pretty cool getting to watch a small-town mechanic start in a barn in the backyard of a single-wide trailer and now grow to 5 locations repairing thousands of cars each month. And at Eurofix, you get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair and appointment. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX, or you can visit them online at myeurofix.com. But always, and I mean always, tell them Blaine Bishop sent you.
Blaine and Mickey, 104.5 The Zone, playing some games here today on Blaine and Mickey. Danny in the Borough has been kind enough to hold with a question. #Ask the Hitman. Danny, welcome in.
What's up, Danny?
Hey, everybody. Appreciate it. It's your resident Bengals fan calling in, and I've got a question for a vaunted defensive back. As someone who played safety his entire career, I love to watch the All-22 and see how the backfield and the defense really moves around and sways with one another. But my question pertains specifically to one player on the Bengals defense. How good is Mike Hilton really? Because I think the whole defense runs through this man. I came into this season thinking that DJ Reader was the defensive MVP for this team with what he does up front. But Mike Hilton has a hand in every aspect of this defense, and I've not seen a slot corner do what this man can do, and I just wanted a professional's opinion on it.
Well, as far as what he does in games and how to utilize him, I think he's super valuable. But if, like, you put him on a measuring stick as far as his height, weight, speed, he's not going to be at the top of the list. He's not one of those dynamic forces. But in games with the blitzing, and that's why the slot cover guy is so important. Because you got to be able to blitz, you got to be able to tackle, you got to be able to cover, you got to be able to be multiple. You can bet, sometimes you're in the slot, then next you're half-field safety. So I think he's good at really good at everything. And then it's funny because he keeps blitzing off the slot and still, is making plays, and they know he's coming. So I think he's probably playing 110% better than actually what his talent level says he is. People forget he was a backup with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then he got into the starting lineup. Then they starting to see how to utilize him. But I don't think if I would have guessed, I don't know if he's a 4 or 5 guy. He may be 4 or 5 guy, but he's really quick, and his lateral quickness is great, and he's super sharp and smart football player. So those guys usually do really well in the NFL. I mean, really. That's what the Titans envision Elijah Molden being right there, that guy, because he has all those other intangibles. He just can't stay healthy. So I would say, yeah, he gets the most out of his ability. I don't know if he's, I haven't watched enough of the Bengals defense to say he's the MVP. I really like their inside linebacker too. I think is Wilson he's from BYU maybe, or Wyoming, somewhere like that. So yeah, I think he's pretty good. But yeah, they got a really good defense. And Eli Apple, who for whatever reason, to me, I don't think he has great vertical speed, but he always ends up making a play here or there that you go, dang, that was a great play. So I think they get the most of them. Then they got a guy now out there with 2 last names is combined with Britt. I'm like, dang, where'd they get this guy from? So yeah, they're pretty good. They're really good, actually.
Well coached.
And you're well coached, and they got 2 guys coming on the outside that are pretty good. Yeah, they're really good.
That Trey Hendrickson, that's the guy that I wanted here.
Yeah, they got a vet guy.
I wanted him.
Mm-hmm. So they're solid. I really like their all-around team. Really, even when you have some injuries, and that's kind of, I'm not their defense, but their offense for the Bengals is hopefully, to me, and without Burrow, let's just say it's Tannehill, they're going to have those kind of weapons around him for Tannehill to get the maximum and be the best version he can be. And they haven't done. They misevaluated wide receivers to me with the Robert Woods coming off an ACL, then Burks coming in out of shape. And
Des Fitzpatrick in the 4th round of the draft, trading up to get him.
Yeah, and then NWI really being a 3, and they thinking he's a 2, borderline 1. I mean that's so that's you got to have some weapons.
All right, our music's about to play. I was working, this is well over 20 years ago, TV anchor in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Best friends getting married. I'm the best man in the wedding. Ask off 3 months ahead of time or 4. Week before I'm supposed to go, a couple of the production assistants come and they say, hey, we heard the boss talking today. They're not going to let you off for the wedding.
What?
I go down to the guy who ran the entire station, the big boss at the end of the hall. I said, tell me, are you letting me off for my friend's wedding or not? He goes, well, I said, no, well, yes or no. This is to the man who runs the whole thing. He said, we just need you here. I said, I quit. I walked out, went down the hall, put my stuff in a cardboard box, and walked out.
Wait a minute. I need Robert to tell me what that guy who called in and said the counselor. What did he say that is?
The amygdala.
Yeah,
my amygdala was born that day. They called me, asked me to come back. I go back. He said, I'll give you Saturday only.